Turn it up.
Get all the local news,
Here's
weather,
producer
traffic, and local events you can handle.
Plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes.
Chris in the morning with
We're
Matt
gonna
at
talk
6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5
And AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
Come treat yourself to a fabulous new bedroom.
Okay. I just want to hear that one. Just got to hear producer Adam do his thing. Okay, what are we going to talk in the 7 o'clock hour? Do 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 do. Okay, I think I have it. The Doomsday Bucket at Costco. Muckety muck?
How about the whole kit and caboodle? I'm Martha Barnett, along with Grant Barrett.
Oh, she's talking very emphatically.
And we invite you to call us with your questions about language. We want to hear from you about words and phrases, dialects, grammar.
Regional dialects, grammar.
So join us on the way.
Today is Stick Out Your Tongue Day, National Raspberry Cake Day, National Daiquiri Day, and New Friend Day. Make a new friend. Reminds me of an episode of Frasier where he wanted to make a new friend. Turns out he was too snobby to take on or make a new friend. The biggest emotion in creation is the bridge to optimism.
Van Camp and Robbins. Weekdays from 1 to 4 on the Voice of the Foothills, FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
1 minute to the top for 6:59 a.m. 1 hour down, gang. A couple more to go. Next hour, daily dad jokes, of course, make you laugh, sigh, probably roll your eyes. Send me yours ahead of time here at live@kahi.com, live@kahi.com, or you can call me 530-885-3565. Let me know your daily dad joke that way. Also, in the 8 o'clock hour, Mary Jane Pop and I are going to connect, as we do on our Fridays, for a conversation, find out what's going on with her show, Pop Talk, this weekend. Pausing for station identification. Good Friday morning to you. It is July 19th, and it is a dab at the top of the hour. It is 7 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is, gang. It is the voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here, holding it down in beautiful Studio A in the KAHI studios, looking out at a beautiful sunrise this morning. There's something about the clouds, having clouds in the sky, that just makes the sun way more exciting. The sunrise and the sunset's way more exciting. Seems like kind of weird-ish weather. It's getting hot again, gang. Spoiler alert for today, so just make sure that you're giving those plants a good drink. I came home last night and our poor plants. Oh my gosh. I looked at the plants on the patio. We have a bunch of potted plants on the patio. Those suckers were wilty. They were not loving life yesterday. So I asked my oldest to get out there. We waited till evening. Let me tell you, working with the garden goddesses for a few years there, doing the weekends. Boy, you learn a lot from those ladies. I loved every minute of it. And they give those, as Erling would say, give those plants a good drink. Get them out there, but do it early in the morning or later on in the evening so the water doesn't evaporate off. So it was, I don't know, probably about 9 o'clock last night. We're like, all right, I think we can go ahead and water those plants now, and that water will last through. So when I get home, I didn't have a chance to see them this morning, but when I get home, we'll see if those plants are doing better. And I got to remember to water the plants more. So get out there, give them a good drink early this morning before the day starts to heat up. And it is going to get a little bit hotter. But like we said, we'll check in with meteorologist Tim Root here in just a little bit to see what our weather is looking like. And if today, like we like to do at the top of the hour, if today is your birthday, doggone it, it is your day today. We want to shout it out. I know we do it every day, but if today is your birthday, it's your day. It's your birthday. So happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day today as you're getting ready to celebrate. Maybe you're like, it's just another day. It's just another birthday. No. We're going to celebrate you today. You go out and you treat yourself. Go out and do something. Maybe something small, like, you know, I'm going to go out and get myself today's, maybe it's a milkshake. You go out and get a milkshake. My mother-in-law was in the hospital for a few days. She had some hard stuff going on. And they got it all back on track and heart's beating normally now. But it's always a little bit of a scare when you got a relative in the hospital there. But on my way to visit her, my wife was staying the night with her the other night, and she's like, Mom wants a milkshake from In-N-Out. I was going to In-N-Out to get my wife some dinner, and she's like, yep, Mom wants a vanilla milkshake. So I said, all right, got to get Mom the vanilla. Get her what she needs. We get her what it's fine. It was okay. It was not anything that she couldn't have. And so the vanilla milkshake is what I got. And even though she took only like 3 sips of it, I was still excited to bring my mother-in-law a vanilla milkshake, and it's just more about being with the person and visiting. She's back at home now. Thanks for asking, Adam. Yeah, she's back at home now and doing great. So glad that we have the medical system that can take care of these things and get everything back on track again. And also glad that she is not there anymore and she is back at home with family. So doing good there. Hey, today is National, or it's not national, but it is national. There it is. National Raspberry Cake Day. So if you're looking for a dessert idea, how about some raspberry cake? That sounds like a good summer dessert. Also, National Daiquiri Day. Maybe you're looking for a little mixed drink today, and it's New Friends Day. So maybe go out there and make a new friend. It is, man, as you get harder, it is hard to make new friends sometimes. I got my friend group. I know who I like. I'm familiar with them. We have our conversations that we talk about. We have our topics that we talk about. We're pretty aligned on stuff. But today's Make a New Friend Day. Maybe go out there and make a new friend, or at least say, here, let's make it attainable goals, gang. And maybe just say hi to somebody new to you. Maybe just turn around and like, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. My name's Chris. I was out watching. No, it's not that I was making any new friends or anything, but it is always that kind of awkward moment when you're in a crowd, when you're with strangers. And we were out watching. I think I mentioned this last week. We're out watching the big boy 4014 roll by on the tracks there, and standing next to a guy who was also out there observing, of course, a bunch of people along the track. And you just start exchanging comments, and you say one thing, and then there's another thing, and then you eventually start a conversation. And I always think about, like, okay, should I introduce myself? Should I say my name? Is this just a more casual conversation? Does it really matter? I said, no, doggone it, I'm going to be friendly. I'm going to say hello to this guy. I can't remember his name now, though, but I think it was Gary. We'll just call him Gary. And it turns out he had traveled 8 hours from Southern California, a town I had never even heard of, didn't even know existed. And I thought I would recognize most major towns or names in California. Nope. Never heard of this one. When he said it, I couldn't even place remotely where in California he was from. But came 8 hours to stand there and watch a train pass by for like 30 seconds. And I admired it. I don't know that I would have done it, but I admired that he did it and ended up having a lovely conversation with him. I wouldn't call him a new friend, but I would call him, hey, there's somebody that I didn't know that now I'm aware of, and now I'm aware of a new place in California, and you always are learning something new. So I hope you're learning something new each day. I hope you're maybe smiling at somebody each day. The world is crazy enough out there. Let's try to be friendly to each other, wave at each other, say hello to each other. And again, if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. Some folks that are born on your birthday that you might have heard of. Let's see. We've got Samuel Colt. How about that? Colt 45, American businessman, founder of the Colt Manufacturing Company. He passed away in 1862, but was born way back in 1814. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Alice Dunbar Nelson, African poet and activist, passed away in 1935, was born on this day in 1875. Lisa Lampanelli, American comedian and actress, born on this day in 1961. One of my favorite actors. Here we go. Benedict Cumberbatch. Have you heard of this guy? He's from over in England there. Benedict Cumberbatch, fantastic actor. If you've never watched the Sherlock Holmes series, I think it was on PBS. It's just called Sherlock, and you can find it in different places. I think PBS, if their streaming service, is making all of the seasons of Sherlock available again. But if you've not had a chance to watch his version of Sherlock, and Martin, who's the guy who plays Holmes? So it's basically a modern take on Sherlock. I cannot recommend it highly enough. That's when I was first introduced to Benedict Cumberbatch. He's been in a ton of stuff since then. If you're a fan of the Marvel movies, he's Doctor Strange. Oh my gosh, just a fantastic actor. So anyway, he was born on this day in 1976. But hey, we need to find out what this day is looking like from the weather perspective. For that, we turn it over to meteorologist Tim Root. Timmy, how are we looking out there?
Friday morning, I'm forecasting mostly sunny, hot weather today. Highs around 100 and a light west wind. Mostly clear near 70 tonight. It's going to be a hot weekend, 95 to 100. Mostly sunny Saturday and Sunday. No precipitation expected. And light breezes from the southwest over the weekend. Still hot on Monday near 100 with summer sunshine continuing. This is meteorologist Tim Root
From FM 104.5
and AM 950 KAHI.
Hi, this is Andrew Twiddle, owner of ABT Plumbing, Electric, Heat, and Air. ABT has been in business since 2001, and we are to have been voted Auburn's best plumbing company and best heating and cooling company in Auburn Journal's Best of Auburn promotion. We're very proud to have placed as runner-up in electrical category as well. Our technicians are experienced and friendly. If you have an issue with your plumbing, need a whole house generator, or maybe your furnace isn't working, give ABT a call. Reach us at 530-230-9004 for excellent service. It really is as easy as
That's
ABT.
not really where I wanted to go at all. With that whole making a friend
You
thing.
don't have to go to Africa to have a wildlife adventure. The Wildlife Care Association offers adventure, challenge, and satisfaction when you volunteer to care for injured birds and small animals. The nonprofit group is offering classes now for volunteers to assist Mother Nature in returning wildlife to our communities. Visit wildlifecareassociation.com or call 916-965-WILD and get your adventure going.
Wow, 2023 saw home insurance soar out of control, forcing many people to actually contemplate selling their home. Brandon Harris here to say it's not all doom and gloom. At Homer Insurance, you'll talk to real insurance experts that have real solutions. We work with dozens of real estate companies helping their agents solve problems every day. If you think you're paying too much, give us a crack and call Homer Insurance today at 916-339-7070. 916-339-7070.
9 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:09 a.m. Taking a little bit of a break here. And when we come back, have you heard of this thing called the Doomsday Bucket? The Doomsday Bucket. Of course, like anything, it's from Costco. So let's talk about the Doomsday Bucket when we come back. Pausing now for just a little bit longer. Back with more after this.
This is the place. Hey, yo, this is my grandson Mike. It's his 18th birthday. Man, wow, one of the best years of my life. When I was 18, ladies used to think I was fly. Yeah, your grandma, baby. Man, he's a smart guy, but I thought he could use a little flex today. Start putting away some money. Call your mother. And now that you're 18, you need to sign up with the Selective Service System. Remember Jamie Thomas? Yeah. Heard he didn't register and was denied a job with TSA. There you go.
That's it. Save money. Call mom. Register with SSS.
Hey, Grandpa, this boy got that police head, the kind that roll up and stop wherever he wants to. Oh, that boy's head. I don't know what to do with it.
Be the man. Register with the Selective Service System today at sss.gov.
Good looking boy, but ugly head.
This commercials make me laugh. 10, 11 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:11 a.m. here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Before we, my gosh, those are funny. Before we took a break there, we're talking about the Doomsday Bucket. What the heck is this? Now, in case you were one of those, so I love them. My in-laws. I worked at a bank when it was 2020, when we went from 1999 to 2000. So you remember the whole Y2K, people didn't know what was going to happen, where the computer's going to stop, where they're going to revert to 1900, was a whole, where we're just going to collapse into anarchy. Well, I don't know if you did this. I didn't do this, but my in-laws apparently had some 55-gallon buckets of food that they had stored down below the house, just in case. Look, they had 8 kids. There was a lot of mouths to feed. Maybe those were just the reserves for all the children that they had in the house. But back around Y2K, they had those 55-gallon drums. They were still around up until, I think, a couple of years ago. So we did not get rid of those things for a hot minute. I think after that, they were not good for humans to eat. I think we donated them for like animals to eat. It was like the dried food, the noodles, all that stuff that lasts for a long time. Well, If your Y2K supply has officially ran out now, yeah, Costco's got this new Doomsday bucket. So why not? Why let's monetize Doomsday, of course. For $80, the big box store sells an emergency food bucket of 150 freeze-dried meals, including rice, pudding, pasta, and for some reason, potato pot pie. Potato, maybe because it's high in carbs. You're looking for something that's giving you a lot of energy. If you're running from the zombies, if you're running from Armageddon, you're going to need to carb load a little bit before you start running there. And it sounds like if it sounds like a standard trip to the grocery store, well, the ticker is the Armageddon meals last up to 25 years. So 25 years, you can get your Doomsday bucket from Costco. Again, it has 150 freeze-dried meals, including rice, pudding, pasta, and that potato pot pie. So there we go. Maybe now there are some folks that are wanting to be ready. I have relatives that are very much wanting to be ready for something like that. And there's other people that are like, you know what, if it gets to that point, I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference anyway. I have a friend of mine has it in his truck. He's got it ready to go. And I appreciate that. People who are prepared for anything make up for people like me who are like, yeah, it'll come. It'll be here or it won't be here, but I'm just going to go ahead and kind of not think about that for right now. Holy bananas. There we go. It is 14. That is our signal that it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour. And apparently the leaf blowers are here. It is 14 minutes, 7:14 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Newcastle. Currently 72 degrees where you're at. Looking for a high today. We are back up there again of 104 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report. Microsoft says the underlying issue affecting Windows today has been fixed, though there is still a residual impact. The disruption of Windows globally, impacting everything from airlines to banks to healthcare, was caused by a glitch in a software update from cybersecurity company CrowdStrike. CEO George Kurtz says CrowdStrike is actively working with customers impacted. It's not a security.
Okay, what are we going to announce here? We're going to announce.
Analysts at RBC Capital Markets say
Nope.
airlines are not required to compensate
Farmers
passengers
Marketplace.
for delays resulting from extraordinary circumstances, but the disruption and delays will cost airlines because of services they are required to provide. American Express is raising expectations for the year, but its quarter was mixed and the stock is lower. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Silva, invested in you.
You can host the best back.
All right, what are we going to do? This one.
You can do this.
Hey there, KI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the morning, along with Matt Ray and America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle.
Plus a healthy daily dad jokes.
Chris in the morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 1.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
I never miss it, and neither should you. 6 past the top of the hour, 7:16 a.m. Talking about an event for the calendar tonight, this night, Friday, July 19th, from 6 to 8 p.m. We've got game night. Looking for a night out, looking for something to do? Well, game night is happening at the Farmers Marketplace. That's going to be at 195 Elm Avenue here in Auburn. Again, 6 to 8 p.m. here at the Farmers Marketplace. Now, games are going to be provided, or you can bring your own board game, card game, and bring some good times with you. Create memories with family and friends. Now, this is a free event. Can't beat free, gang. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, snacks and beverages will be available for purchase, or Here's the fun thing: bring your own. Be like my mom. We went to the movies. You just pack your own popcorn there. Just put in little baggies there. Maybe you got your own snacks that you like that you're going to bring. Or again, you can buy some there and support local businesses here. Again, there's a free night out tonight. It's a game night happening at the Farmers Marketplace. That's at 195 Elm Avenue here in Auburn, 6 to 8 p.m. Bring your own games, or there'll be some games there to play as well. Also, snacks and beverages for purchase, or you can bring your own as well. You can find out more at thefarmersmarketplace.com. That's thefarmersmarketplace.com, or call 916-390-7628. Back with more right after this.
With the new year, it's time to spray the weeds, lay down the fertilizer, and soon time to plant the pasture, fix or replace the fence. Ever hear the term good fences make great neighbors? Well, it's true. Bring your plan to Plaza Farm Supply, and our knowledgeable staff will get you started. We've got your critters covered too, from livestock and poultry to cat and dog. We can feed them all. Plaza Farm Supply, the Big Red Barn on Highway 80 in Newcastle. Come see us for all your critter and farming and ranching needs.
This is Stephen Hill. Catch some space. Sunday nights at 8. Here on 104.5. AM 950. KAHI. The same voice of the foothills. More powerful than ever.
18 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:18 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, it's the bottom of the hour, 7:30. That means it's time for your daily dad jokes. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh, probably, I'm guessing, roll your eyes. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com. Back to America's First News, and I'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour.
Critical time of year famine in Gaza, and that it got close to 20 million pounds of desperately needed supplies to Palestinians. State Department spokesperson Bendit Patel said the U.S. did not set a goal for the year. Or a logistics or
How did I miss that?
Throughput. What we are talking about, and when the president announces at the State of the Union, what we were talking about was a all of U.S. government effort to ensure that we were leaving no stone unturned, and that we were looking at
Weird.
the issue
Missed that time.
humanitarian aid
Oh well.
to Gaza. That includes
Okay.
that includes
Daily dad jokes.
this peer option as
What do we got as some options here? Sometimes I like to tuck my legs into my head.
And in that effort, this peer was successful for all the reasons that now, certainly, as I said to Matt, the humanitarian situation in Gaza continues to be dire, and we will continue to work with humanitarian partners in Israel, partners across the region, to look at what other avenues are at our disposal to get humanitarian aid into Gaza. I believe Ashdod Port will continue to play an important role, especially for aid that is moving through Cyprus. We'll continue to work closely with our partners in Israel and others in the region to do everything we can to get more land.
Sometimes I like to tuck my head and legs into my chest. It's just how I roll.
Not at all to say that the humanitarian picture in Gaza is perfect. What I mean
Here we
to say
go.
is that
Email that live at KAHI.com.
was successful in what it was able to accomplish as
One.
the military steps away from the sea route for humanitarian aid. Questions remain about Israel's new plan to use the port at Ashdod as a substitute. There are few details on how it will work. Lingering concerns about whether aid groups will
Okay, there we go. There it is. Dad joke one. Yay! Delete photo.
Housing U.S. troops and members of the U.S.-led coalition in western Iraq was subjected to an attack with 2 explosive drones earlier this week that caused some damage but no casualties. Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh said on Thursday, U.S. forces shot down 1 drone, but the other hit the base in western Iraq.
We certainly don't want to see these attacks resume on our forces, and we've made that clear both, publicly and privately. I can't speculate on the future. We're always going to take measures to protect our forces, and I'll just leave it at that.
Has the United States responded to this in any way, or are there plans to do so?
We shot down one of the UAS systems, so I think that would be a response. I'm not going to get ahead of any military decisions or operations.
there been any attacks in Syria as well?
There was not an attack. U.S. and coalition forces crude aerial system near Green Village, but we don't have an assessment of what the intended target was. So I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't characterize.
Okay,
it
got
as an
one
attack,
here
but we did destroy it
from Jesse R.
An incident did happen in Syria.
Yes, and yes, an
Let's
incident
label
did
that as
happen in
dad joke
Syria.
2.
They did. Our forces did
Send that
shoot
off.
down one.
An ancient Greek author walked into a tailor holding a pair of pants. Euripides, he asked the tailor. Yes, said the man. Eumenides. Yes, said the man. Eumenides? Euripides? Eumenides. It's pretty good.
Those attacks dropped sharply in February, but
Heard that joke on Frasier before. An ancient Greek author walked into a tailor holding a pair of pants. Euripides? Asked the tailor. Yes, said the man. Eumenides? That's pretty good.
And accused the island of taking the computer chip industry away from the United States. It's a foreign policy head scratcher given Taiwan pays for its defense.
Okay.
Matthew Miller.
I will point out that
That's 2.
Taiwan has been purchasing
Today is what?
military equipment from the United States to the tune of billions of dollars.
Dad.
Military equipment that they have purchased supports American manufacturing.
Is there anything
American
like?
industry supports American technology. So the purchases that they have made not only are important, we believe, to regional security.
I told you the pun about tongues, but it fell flat. It must have been tasteless. Oh, did you hear the one about the tongue that went to school? It aced all its licks. My tongue is bilingual. It speaks fluent food and sarcasm. Why did the tongue go to the doctor? It had a taste for adventure. Tongues have taste buds, but do they have a sense of? Tongues have taste buds, but do they have a sense of humor? I tried to teach my tongue karate, but it kept getting tied up in knots. Did you hear about the tongue that got a job? It was hired as a taste. Yeah. My tongue has a sweet tooth. It's always craving candy. Why did the tongue become a detective? It wanted to taste. I asked my tongue for directions, but it got tongue-tied. Did you hear about the tongue's autobiography? It was a bestseller, full of flavor. My tongue is on a roll. It loves. Why did the tongue refuse to apologize? It said sorry wasn't on the tip of the tongue. Why was the tongue always the life of the party? Because it knew how to taste the fun. My tongue has a great memory. It never forgets the taste of pizza. That's pretty good.
Example of what we want our allies to do.
I told a pun about tongues, but it fell flat. It must have been tasteless. Did you hear about the tongue that went to school? It aced. No, not that one. My tongue is bilingual. It speaks fluent food and sarcasm. My tongue has a great memory. It never forgets the taste of pizza. Why did the tongue go to school? To become a master of tongue twisters. There's a couple in there. There's something in there. Off now to
news. The urgency of the global climate challenge and the new job opportunities that can come from leading the development of the technologies of the future. It is committed to a clean transition which will lower energy bills for consumers over time. My government will continue to give its full support to Ukraine and its people, and it will endeavor to play a leading role in providing Ukraine with a clear path to NATO membership. My government will play its part in trying to secure long-term peace and security in the Middle East. It is committed to a two-state solution with a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable and sovereign Palestinian state.
Starmer, who has moved his left-leaning party toward the center since becoming Labour leader in 2020, campaigned on a promise to bring bold change to Britain at modest cost to taxpayers. He aims to be both pro-worker and pro-business in favor of vast new construction projects and protecting the environment. More on the way on this Friday morning. You can always reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. You're listening to America's First News.
America's First News. You're listening to America's First News with Matt Ray on the TNN Radio Networks. You're listening to America's First News with Matt Ray on the TNN.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month. And that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton, make it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, and you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel
It's time for your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh, side. Probably roll your eyes. I'm Tom Bergeron.
Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878.
We're shouting out Lake of the Pines.
That's 800-878
7302.
800-878-6020.
And good Friday morning to you. It is July 19th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:30 a.m. And good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. Currently, it is 75 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today. Woof, a toasty 102 degrees. If that makes you cry, it's going to be that hot. Let's try and add a little bit of laughter to your life. That's right. It's time for your daily dad jokes. Make you laugh, sigh. Probably, I'm guessing at a few of these, you're going to roll your eyes. Let's start with this one. Sometimes I like to tuck my head and legs into my chest. It's just how I roll. There we go. All right. Sometimes I like to tuck my head and legs into my chest. It's just how I roll. All right, checking the inbox here live at KAHI.com. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com or call me 530-885-3565. This one from Jesse R. Put on your thinking caps on this one. Here we go. An ancient Greek author walked into a tailor holding a pair of pants. Euripides? Asked the tailor. Yes, said the man. Eumenides? Oh, that got Producer Adam's like on the philosophical side today. Let's try that one more time just to make sure we got it covered. An ancient Greek author walked into a tailor holding a pair of pants. Euripides? Asked the tailor. Yes, said the man. Eumenides? Hell, there we go. All right, Jesse, thanks for that. That's a little bit deeper than we normally go during the dad jokes. Holy cow. All right, today is Stick Out Your Tongue Day. How about some tongue-related dad jokes? Did you hear about the tongue that went to school? It aced all of its licks. Okay, all right. I told a pun about tongues, but it fell flat. It must have been tasteless. Okay, all right, one more. How about this one? My tongue has a great memory. It never forgets the taste of pizza. Okay, there we go. And those have been your daily dad jokes for this Friday, July 19th. Maybe there's some that you can use with the kids, with the grandkids. Tell your coworkers you've got a dad joke all lined up for you. Euripides, Eumenides. There we go. Back with more right after this.
Stadium Way, just behind Placer High, is committed to providing their customers with excellent service, period. They understand that automotive maintenance and repair is neither convenient nor fun. They value their customers.
Okay, Timmy, you're up with the weather.
Helping find solutions. In addition to Toyotas and Hondas, Strictly Toyotas also services Subaru, Nissan, and Infiniti, as well as other domestic vehicles. Stop in at Strictly Toyotas at 135 Stadium Way in Auburn, or call them at 887-0808. Strictly Toyotas.
Good Friday morning. Unfortunately, mostly sunny, hot weather today. Highs around 100 and a light west wind.
Or more, 100 or more.
Hot weekend, 95.
Hot weekend. Hot weekend.
Sunny Saturday and Sunday. No precipitation expected.
We're going to talk about
From the southwest over the weekend.
hearts
Still hot on Monday
and
near
big
100
trucks.
with summer sunshine continuing. This is meteorologist Tim Root.
DJ of the stars. Bebo, oh, stop. I love California.
I love the sunsets. I love the foothills. Oh, speaking of which,
This is a really old microphone.
at 8 p.m. for
There's
Rewind,
the
featuring the stars you
guts
grew
of
up
it.
with.
I've looked this microphone up online. This microphone's like $2,500. They don't make it anymore. It's a Shure
This Saturday, 8 p.m.
microphone. Uh-oh.
Rewind on the Voice of the
Uh-oh.
Foothills, AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your KAHI news and a whole lot more. Back now to America's First News. And in the 8 o'clock hour, Mary Jane Pop is going to call in. We're going to chat as we do on Fridays. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Secret Service allowed Trump to take the stage. Multiple
How am
investigations have
I-
been launched both into the crime itself and how
What's
law
going
enforcement
on?
allowed it to happen. The security lapses came to light as the Republican chair of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee issued a subpoena this week. The Secret Service Director, Lee Cheadle, compelling her to appear before the committee Monday for what is scheduled to be the first congressional hearing
Something's
into the
off here.
attempted assassination. And even before the first hearing, calls for Cheadle to resign intensified, with top Republican leaders from both the House and Senate saying she needs to go. She was accosted by Republican Senators Marsha Blackburn, John Barrasso, and James. As she
How am
worked
I missing
security
this?
at the RNC this week, the three accosted her after she explained to them she was trying to work and she would be happy to answer questions at an appropriate time.
No, we're going with you.
The lawmakers likely did that for publicity, as Blackburn posted the interference to social media. The director has said she has no intention of resigning. Representative James Comer said initially that the Secret Service committed her to attendance, that Homeland Security officials appeared to intervene, and there's been no meaningful updates or information shared with the committee. Lawmakers at the European Parliament Thursday re-elected von der Leyen to a second 5-year term as president of the European Union's Executive Commission, giving her a comfortable majority and heading off a possible leadership vacuum. She called her re-election a victory for her backers, lawmakers she called pro-European, pro-Ukraine, and pro-rule of law.
Members voting 707. Majority of component members 360. Votes in favor 401. According to these results, the candidate for President of the European Commission proposed by the European Council is therefore elected by the European Parliament. I would like to congratulate Ursula von der Leyen on her re-election, and I wish her the very best for the exercise of her mandate.
So you can imagine this is a very emotional and special moment for me now. I cannot begin without expressing how much I am grateful for the trust and the confidence of the majority of the European Parliament. 401 votes in favor. You recall last time it was 8 votes above the majority, necessary majority. This time it's 41, so much better. And this sends a strong message of confidence, and I think it's also recognition for the hard work that we carried out together.
The re-election ensures leadership continuity for the 27-nation bloc as it wrestles with crises ranging from the war in Ukraine to climate change, migration, and housing shortages. Von der Leyen said she and her supporters are working for a strong Europe, citing themes of prosperity, security, and defense. Bob Newhart, the deadpan accountant turned comedian who became one of the most popular TV stars of his time after striking gold with a classic comedy album, has died at the age of 94. His publicist said the actor died Thursday in Los Angeles after a series of short illnesses. Best remembered now as the star of two hit television shows in the 70s and 80s that bore his name, Newhart launched his career as a stand-up comic in the late 50s. He gained nationwide fame when his routine was captured on vinyl in 1960 as The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, which went on to win a Grammy Award as Album of the Year. In 1982, the comedian launched the TV show Newhart, this time a successful New York writer who decides to reopen a long-closed Vermont inn.
I'm Dick Loudon. This is my wife, John. Well, I just thought I'd stop by and see about getting you folks on my route. You see, I deliver maple syrup to all the inns around here. So how much do you folks need? Well, I guess one would probably do it. Right. One gross. No, one jug. We don't sell by the jug.
We don't need a gross.
We don't need a jug. Dick. Let me explain something to you. This is Vermont. I'm with you so far.
The show was a huge hit, lasting 8 seasons on CBS. Carol Burnett posted on X, "I had the great pleasure of working with Bob and being his friend. He was as kind and nice as he was funny." And director and actor Paul Feig wrote, "I had the honor of doing a guest role on Newhart and got to spend a week listening to the great Bob Newhart, making all of us laugh. A brilliant stand-up and comedic actor, he was truly one of a kind." Turning to sports this morning, and the wind caught just about everybody off guard Thursday in the British Open. Still, Daniel Brown made his major championship debut a memorable one, birdieing 2 of the last 3 for a 6-under 65, giving him a one-shot lead over Shane Lowry with just enough spectators left in the Scottish twilight to celebrate his amazing day. Rory McIlroy fought the wind, shooting 78 with a pair of double bogeys.
Yeah, it was a difficult day. I felt like I did, okay for the first part of the round, and then, missed the green with the postage stamp there and left it in and made a double. But still, felt like I was in, reasonable enough shape, being a couple over through 9, thinking that I could, maybe get those couple shots back, try to shoot even par, something like that. And then, hit the ball out of bounds on 11, making a double there. And even though the wind on the back 9 was helping, it was a lot off the left, and I was actually surprised, how difficult I felt like the back 9 played. I thought we were going to get it a little bit easier than we did. But the course was playing tough. The conditions are very difficult in a wind that we haven't seen so far this week. And I guess when that happens, you play your practice rounds, you have a strategy that you think is going to help you get around the golf course. But then when you get a wind that you haven't played in, it starts to present different options, and you start to think, about maybe a few clubs that you haven't hit in practice, and just one of those days where I just didn't adapt well enough to the conditions.
Tiger Woods sent his drive near the ScotRail line that runs along the 11th hole at Royal Troon, summing up his opening round. The 15-time major champion's 8 over 79 leaves him in danger of missing the cut for a third straight time at the Open.
I didn't do a whole lot of things right today. Just made that putt on the third hole, and then I think I had three putts today. Didn't hit my irons very close, and didn't give myself a whole lot of looks today. So need to shoot something in the mid-60s tomorrow to get something on going on the weekend. Yeah, I'm physically feeling a lot better than I did at the beginning of the year. After the end of last year, it was tough, and then I haven't played a whole lot. And I think that, as the year has gotten better, the year has gone on, I have gotten better. Just wish I could have played a little bit more. But I've just been saving for the majors just in case I do something pre-major and then take myself out of it. So hopefully next year will be a little bit better than this year.
Woods, who has had 4 surgeries on his lower back, has failed to reach the weekend in the last 3 of his 4 appearances at the British Open. He's played all 4 majors for the first time since 2019. The Los Angeles Clippers sent Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz Thursday to sign and trade deal for point guard Chris Dunn. The Jazz are expected to buy out the former NBA MVP's contract, so if Westbrook can sign with the Denver Nuggets, Utah also got the right to swap second-round draft picks in 2030, some cash, and the rights to center Balsa Koprivica. The 35-year-old Westbrook is reportedly opted into the final year of his contract with the Clippers, who were to pay him just over $4 million. The point guard averaged a career low 11.1 points per game, while mostly coming off the bench last year for the Clippers, who were bounced by Dallas in the first round of the playoffs while Kawhi Leonard was injured. If Westbrook clears waivers, ESPN says he plans to join the Nuggets, who are in need of guard depth after parting with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Reggie Jackson earlier this month. More on the way on this Friday morning. You can always reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. You're listening to America's First News.
America's First News with Matt Ray. You're listening to America's First News with Matt Ray on the TNN Radio Networks. You're listening to America's First News with Matt Ray on the TNN Radio Network.
In 2024, the American Heart Association celebrates 100 years of life-saving service as the world's leading nonprofit organization focused on heart and brain health. Heart disease still kills more people in the United States each year than all types of cancer combined, but more than half of Americans are unaware of this fact, according to a recent Harris Poll survey conducted for the American Heart Association. However, the majority of heart disease is preventable. New research has improved the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of heart disease and its risk factors. Efforts led by the American Heart Association deaths from heart disease by half over the past century and helped people with heart disease live longer and more productive lives while managing their condition and risk factors.
Here we go.
To learn more about the American Heart Association's Century of Service and how you can help, visit heart.org/centennial.
We are the entertainment you love and information that shapes your day. We are your lifeline. We are your companion. We are broadcasters.
And good Friday morning to you. It is July 19th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Colfax. Currently, it is 77 degrees right now, looking for a high today just underneath the century mark of 99 degrees. All right, let's talk about another event for the calendar. It is happening tomorrow on the 20th. It's Parks and Big Trucks. It's the new Park and Big Trucks Day where kids and adults alike can explore and touch every kind of truck imaginable, from fire trucks with their shiny red allure to the mighty bulldozers that shape our worlds. This is a hands-on experience like no other. And as a bonus, it's going to be plenty hot tomorrow, so go ahead and jump in the Sierra pool and cool down with a free family swim day, and bring your curiosity and your wanting to have some fun here. Again, it's Parks and Big Trucks. It's Trucks and Family Swim tomorrow, the 20th, from 4 to 6 p.m. That's Recreation Park at 123 Recreation Drive, and you can go to the pool, the Sierra pool there, to cool down. It's a free and fun event at Auburn Recreation Park. Again, 123 Recreation Drive. You can find out more at auburnrec.com, auburnrec.com. What are they going to have there? I'll tell you. They've got on the poster, it says fire trucks, police trucks, CAL FIRE helicopter. That's not a truck, but that's super cool. Construction trucks, cement trucks, ambulances, garbage trucks. Oh my, bulldozers, tow trucks, and here's my favorite, food trucks. There we go. They probably have a food truck out there to grab something to eat. And when you eat, wait at least a half an hour, but then go for a free swim in the Sierra pool to cool off after looking at all the very cool trucks. It's Parks and Big Trucks, again, happening tomorrow the 20th at Recreation Park. That's 123 Recreation Drive here in Auburn from 4 to 6 p.m. Park some big trucks, check it out, and then go for a swim in the Sierra Pool. Cool off. That's tomorrow, the 20th. Back with more right after this.
Saturdays and Sundays right here on 104.5.
Kind of ran out of things to say. Couldn't figure it out.
And his friends, Sammy, Dean, Tony Bennett, and more, performing songs from the Great American Songbook. So Doctor and Friends Weekends brought to you by Nature Home Furnishings on Coastal Boulevard in Metro Cordova, right here on Voice of the Foothills, 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
And here's your KAHI news for this Friday, July 19th. I'm Chris Quant. Cal Fire stops wildfire sparked by car crash in Northern California forest. This is from Fox 40 News. A potential wildland fire in Nevada County was stopped on Thursday morning almost immediately after being ignited by a solo vehicle crash, according to the Cal Fire Nevada Yuba Placer Unit, or NEU. Firefighters were called to a vehicle collision east of Conservation Road and Highway 20 with a fire extension to nearby vegetation. When crews arrived on the scene, they found the vehicle's single occupant was uninjured, along with a fire that was quickly stopped at 0.02 acres. Crews with Nevada County Consolidated Fire knocked down the vehicle fire, while Cal Fire, Grass Valley Fire Department, and Nevada City Fire Department handled the vegetation fire. Portion of State Route 70 reopening through Marysville. This is from Fox 40 News. A portion of State Route 70 through downtown Marysville will reopen soon after barriers are installed along the roadway near the fire-damaged Hotel Marysville, according to Caltrans District 3. The several thousand-pound barriers that stand around 10 feet high will be installed to allow the southbound lanes of State Route 70 to reopen with the future while the future of the former hotel is determined. State Route 70 in downtown Marysville was closed in mid-June after a fire raged through the Hotel Marysville, causing serious structural concerns. The road has been closed from 3rd Street to 6th Street in both directions as Caltrans had concerns about the multi-story building collapsing onto the roadway. There is currently no estimated time for when the northbound lanes of State Route 70 will reopen in the closure area. And South Lake Tahoe shooting injures 2 suspect arrested. This is from Fox 40 News. A man has been arrested in South Lake Tahoe after a shooting on Tuesday left 2 people in the hospital, with one of them still in critical condition, according to the South Lake Tahoe Police Department. Officers said they received calls about a shooting in the area and found a man near the intersection of Tahoe Keys Boulevard and Eloise Avenue suffering from injuries to his head that appeared to be from blunt force trauma. The victim was quickly taken to Barton Hospital and has since been released, police said. Police said they found another man, 41, with multiple gunshot wounds in the area and immediately had him flown to Renown Hospital in Reno, Nevada. He remains in critical condition. After searching the area briefly, police located 28-year-old South along Eloise Avenue and detained him. Investigation. The incident remains under investigation, and anyone with information is asked to contact crime tips at cityofslt.us. Back with more news after this.
In the heating and air conditioning business, the state of California has millions of applications. But surprising, almost nothing when it comes to the technical knowledge required of a heating and air technician.
That means they can send a salesman to your home that looks like a true technician with next to nothing when servicing your heating and air system. His only focus is to sell you a new one. That'll never happen with Big Mountain's 2-for-1 rejuvenation of the heating and air system. With our 2 to 3 hour truly comprehensive 2-part service of both your furnace and air with a written guarantee against breakdown, or the service will be free all year long. Total cost $78 or save $4,500 on a brand new heating and air system plus an additional $500 rebate. Replace your old R22 system. Details at 916-378-6270 or
BigMountainAir.com. Because KAHI cares. Here's another KAHI Community Bulletin Board.
If food rules your life, get help and support from a group that understands your situation. Overeaters Anonymous is a support group for eating disorders. There are no weigh-ins, no dues, or fees, just individuals that understand. Join them at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays at the Pioneer United Methodist Church, 11338 Lincoln Way. or call Sherry at 530-921-8028 or go to oa.org.
Hi, this is Mike Nichols. What are you doing Sunday? Join me for the KAHI Swap Shop this Sunday morning at 8. If you have something to sell or if you're looking for something, maybe you have a yard sale, or perhaps you have a freebie you want to give away, you can give me a call and we can chat about it live on the air.
What do you say now? 'Cause it's a nice day now. What are you doing Sunday, baby? Continuing now with your KAHI news from the Morning Brew, Netflix keeps humming. The streaming leader delivered another huge quarter, adding 8 million global subscribers, almost double what Wall Street predicted. The company also said memberships to its new ad-supported tier grew 34% from Q1, and it's now planning to build an in-house ad tech platform to launch in 2025. While the news was good, shares were down in after-hours trading, likely for one reason. Netflix expects subscriber growth to eventually slow down, and it plans to stop divulging the metric next year as it focuses more on revenue and profit. OpenAI released a cheaper version of its flagship model. In an effort to appeal to a wider range of customers, the ChatGPT maker announced GPT-4o Mini, a slimmer, more cost-effective AI that can generate text and images. The Lite model positions OpenAI to compete with Anthropic and Google, which have each already released low-cost versions of their advanced AI models. The company also said GPT-4o Mini is the first to introduce a safety feature called, quote, instruction hierarchy, unquote, which makes it harder for users to trick the model into doing things it wasn't designed to do. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Bob Newhart, the legendary comedian and star of the eponymous 1970s sitcom, died at 94. The SEC sued Patrick Orlando, the former CEO of the shell company that merged with Trump Media, for alleged fraud. Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly considering splitting the company in two to boost share prices. Suggestions for a name would be, how about Warner Brothers and, I don't know, Discovery? John Deere announced it's slashing diversity and inclusion initiatives after weeks of conservative backlash. And Grok, Elon Musk's anti-woke AI chatbot, has gone woke, Wire reported. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is, you probably guessed it, eponymous, meaning named after a specific person, place, or thing, eponymous. And that is your KAHI news for this Friday, July 19th. I'm Chris Quant. Back with more after this.
Do you believe in angels? And do you believe there's light in other worlds that come for a visit? Good questions, and we'll try to give you answers on Pop Talk. I'm Mary Jane Fox.
Hi, Mary Jane.
Dealing with pain can be a rough job, and we'll delve into
Okay.
and what makes sound
Ah.
about a 60-year talent agent who launched some of Hollywood's great Pop Talk Saturday 5 to 7 a.m. and Sunday 9 to 11 p.m. and 24/7.com. Click on listen and we'll talk.
Oh, and we'll talk. There we
Hi,
go.
this is Dr. Dahlia, and I'm thrilled to announce that I've joined the KAHI radio team. Each weekday morning from 9 to noon, I'm live on KAHI. We tackle issues like cholesterol, diabetes, women's health, children, geriatrics, relationships, and more. And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and policies impacting your health. The Dr. Dahlia Show is also a live call-in medical talk show that answers
Okay,
your
we'll do the
questions
Fox
on the air.
Business
Join me,
Report.
Dr. Dahlia, Monday through Friday from 9 to noon here on FM 104.5
And AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
Day one, diagnosis day, the hardest day, the day you hear. But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
We are here for you. We exist for fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
LLS provided immediate financial support that helped me keep my business going through treatment.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower and turned mixed
How do they the name? I'm Stuart Vonnie. Does 1 hour. Lauren Simonetti does another hour. Why do we change that up?
Though there is a residual impact. Microsoft shares opened down more than 1%. CrowdStrike shares are down 14%. Netflix shares are up 5%. It expects growth to be low.
Oh, I should find a quote that I'm going to say with Mary Jane.
8 million. Shares are down 4% because of a mixed quarter, though Amex says cardholders
I really thought before I saw Hendrix, and then I thought, yeah, not so good.
Reporting flat earnings, higher interest rates made funding more expensive, but the stock is up 1%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Solon.
Every new fad or fashion at once has its denouncers from the pulpit platform.
You can host the best backyard.
Pulpit platform professor's chair.
You find a professional on Angie.
The painting requires a little mystery, some vagueness, and some fantasy. When you always make your meaning perfectly plain, you end up boring
Skilled
people.
professionals to get all your home projects
Some may say
done
that I
well.
couldn't sing.
Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today.
You can
do
this
when
when
you
you Angie that.
treat yourself to a fabulous new bedroom at Naturewood Home Furnishings' biggest bedroom sale of the year. Design your very own perfect bedroom. From simple to lavish to luxurious, choose the style, color, hardware that fit just for you. Save now on Sacramento's very best bedrooms and mattresses. Over 16 on display. This bedroom sale ends soon at Naturewood. You know, the building with the water wheel. Tell them Brooklyn Nova and Orion sent you.
Hey there, KAHI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the morning along with Matt Ray in
His first news.
Get all the local news,
Weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes
Chris
in the morning with Dad Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early. Well, it's not so early anymore. 1 minute to the top of the hour, 7:59 a.m. Coming up in the next hour, in the 8 o'clock hour, Mary Jane Pop and I are going to connect. As we do on Fridays, we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up on Pop Off. Always interesting. Always love to hear the guests that she has lined up. Pausing, back after this.
Auburn and AM 950 KAHI Auburn.
And good Friday morning to you. It is July 19th, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour. It is 8 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Chris Quant holding it down in beautiful Studio A in the KAHI studios, looking outside at a beautiful day shaping up that day. King, it's going to be a hot day. We're had a couple of days of relief there. Didn't seem like nearly enough, but we'll take what we can get. Going to be in triple digits again today. We'll check in with meteorologist Tim Root here just a little bit to see what the weather's looking like officially today from an official meteorologist. And a little bit later here in not this segment, but the next segment, we're going to be talking to Mary Jane Pop, talking about what's coming up on Pop Talk, In Search of the Truth. Now, by the way, if you haven't had a chance to tune into Mary Jane's show lately, you got to do it. My gosh, does she have interesting people on there. And maybe folks were, maybe you raise your eyebrows and go, I don't know about that. But hey, I heard something today. I was listening to something and it said basically the idea that we're doing new things or hearing new perspectives, it basically gives our brain, it keeps our brain active. And that's what we need as we're getting older or younger. You need to constantly keep your brain active. So having this sense of curiosity of like, hey, that's interesting. I never heard that perspective before. Hey, that's interesting. I've never tried this before. The example that they were using was brushing your hand or brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. So that's like one of the things to start. Now I always think like, well, I need to brush my teeth good every time. I don't want to get any cavities or anything. But Doesn't mean you have to do it every time, but like, hey, maybe take your non-dominant hand and brush your teeth with that, or maybe just try some other things with your non-dominant hand. Just other things, switch up your routine. Because they said, and I, oh my gosh, this made me, because I am very much a person of routine. I've got the things. I guess it's maybe because you don't have to think about it. You think about it, or I don't have to think about it because it's just a routine. But that's not so good for the brain. The brain needs to be challenged. It needs to be stretched. You need to try and do stuff to keep your brain going, to keep it active, to keep it moving. So maybe try something a little bit different today. Maybe if you're going on a walk today and you normally start by turning left, maybe this time turn right and see where it takes you as you're going throughout today. Or maybe you start your day with a particular beverage. Maybe find another beverage. Maybe switch up your routine a little bit today as you're going through. Just keep that brain healthy. Keep that brain active as you're going throughout today. And also remember to listen to Mary Jane Pop here. She's going to be on in the mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. Or if you miss her in the mornings on Saturday, you can catch her on Sunday at 9 to 11 p.m. So if you're an early bird, or if you're a night owl, or if you're like, Chris, none of those times work for me. I am not up that early, and I am not up that late. Well, you can listen anytime. And Mary Jane will let you know. You can listen anytime at KAHI.com. Just go to audio on demand and listen to Mary Jane. So excited to talk to her today. And today is, get this, gang, today is Stick Out Your Tongue Day. Now, do it in a funny way. Don't stick out your tongue and be mean to people. I remember we used to do that as kids. That was almost, I think that was on the equivalent of sinning in my house when I was a kid. If you stuck out your tongue at somebody in a mean fashion, not in a sarcastic, but in like a mean fashion, then how that became something, or in a defiant fashion. Oh, I'm sticking my tongue out in defiance. That was frowned upon. So if you're going to stick out your tongue, that reminds me of Victor Borga. If you know who Victor Borga is, as the kids would say, if you know, you know. Brilliant concert pianist and a hilarious guy. This is a guy that would do stand-up comedy in a tuxedo with a grand piano. Victor Borga, brilliant. And he was from Denmark, and he said in Denmark it was so cold that they never stuck their tongue out unless they were sure they could get it back in again. And oh man, one of my favorites, Victor Borga. If you've not seen any of his stuff, it's fantastic. But on Stick Your Tongue Out Day, here's a fun fact about tongues. A tongue contains anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 taste buds replaced every few weeks. And being able to roll or curl the tongue is genetic, but with training and practice, almost anyone can learn how. I don't think so. My tongue is shorter. I can't stick out my tongue very far. My wife has a long tongue. She can roll that tongue. It's weird to me. It's kind of weird how they can. If you can do that, that's weird to me. Maybe just because I have such a short tongue. The average tongue is about 3.3 inches long, and last we checked, the longest tongue reached 3.97 inches. Oh boy, that's a long tongue. All right, we need to find out what our weather is looking like. For that, we turn it over to meteorologist Tim Root. Timmy, how are we looking out there today?
Good Friday morning. Unfortunately, mostly sunny, hot weather today. Highs around 100 and a light west wind. Mostly clear near 70 tonight. It's going to be a hot weekend, 95 to 100. Mostly sunny Saturday and Sunday. No precipitation expected. And light breezes from the southwest over the weekend. Still hot on Monday near 100 with summer sunshine continuing. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
PCWA is asking all customers to reduce water use by 20% while PG&E works to restore access to Lake Spalding. You can make a difference by reducing the run times on your sprinklers by just 2 minutes, setting your sprinklers to run first thing in the morning, or upgrading your sprinkler system with high-efficiency rotators and a weather-based sprinkler timer. Learn more ways to help and find out about rebates at PCWA.net. That's PCWA.net.
6 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:06 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, Mary Jane Pop's going to join me. We're going to be chatting all about a whole bunch of things. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
He called for the country to unify and then said the best way to do that would be for Democrats to drop criminal cases against him. as Trump claims
Of course.
conspiracy theory.
Of course he
legal
said
problems.
that.
Two of the cases center around his attempt to overturn his election loss in 2020 and January 6th.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As long as they don't.
And we must not criminalize or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before. In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy. Especially since that is not true.
Trump spoke for an hour and 32 minutes, prompting some to fall asleep, others to leave the event. Tucker Carlson spoke on day 4, highlighting changes in the once media personality who said privately following the 2020 election that he truly can't wait to ignore Trump and said he hates him passionately. Carlson's true feelings about Trump were revealed in a court filing by Dominion Voting Systems in its defamation lawsuit against Fox News. Carlson was fired from the network after Fox settled that suit for more than $787 million. Vice President Kamala Harris said Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance told a compelling but incomplete story this week at the RNC. The vice president said Vance noticeably skipped over what's known as Project 2025, the presidential transition project, organized by the Heritage Project and former Trump staffers and loyalists to promote their agenda with the former president back in the White House.
What is very telling is what he did not talk about on that stage. He did not talk about Project 2025. Their 900-page blueprint for a second Trump term. He did not talk about it because their plans are extreme and they are divisive. In recent days, they've been trying to portray themselves as the party of unity. But here's the thing. If you claim to stand for unity, you need to do more than just use the word. You cannot claim you stand for unity if you are pushing an agenda that deprives whole groups of Americans of basic freedoms, opportunity, and dignity. You cannot claim to be for unity if you try to overturn a free and fair election and threaten to terminate the United States Constitution.
At least 140 former Trump administration staffers worked on Project 2025, and Trump's policy for a second term has significant overlap with the agenda. Trump has tried to distance himself from it, claiming he knows nothing about it, but he's praised it openly at a Heritage Foundation event. Democrats at the highest levels are making a critical push for President Joe Biden to rethink his election bid, with former President Barack Obama expressing concerns to allies, and Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi privately telling Biden the party could lose the ability to seize control of the House if he doesn't step away. Biden's orbit, already small before his debate bubbling, has grown even smaller in recent days. Isolated as he battles a COVID infection at his home in Delaware, the president is relying on a few longtime aides as he weighs whether to bow to the mounting pressure to bow out.
Is there anything that you would look to, you personally, not anybody else, not other pundits, not even perhaps family members, that you would look to say, if I see that, I will reevaluate?
If I had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came and said, you got this problem, that problem. But I made a serious mistake in the whole debate. And look, when I originally ran to be a member, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate. And I thought that I'd be able to move from this, just pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided. And quite frankly, I think the only thing age brings is a little bit of wisdom. And I think I've demonstrated that I know how to get things done for the country, in spite of the fact that we couldn't get it done. But there's more to do, and I'm reluctant to walk away from that.
Biden making the remarks to BET News. Late Thursday, Montana Senator John Tester became the second Democrat in the chamber and now among nearly 24 in Congress, calling for him to bow out, saying, quote, Biden should not seek re-election to another term. Several reports say the president could make his decision this weekend. More on the way on this Friday morning. You can always reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk.
America's first. You're listening to News with Matt Ray on the TMN Radio Networks. You're listening to America's First News with Matt Ray.
Alcohol or drug use, seeking help step toward recovery. Dr. Joseph Liberto, National Mental Health Director for with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, has more.
May is Mental Health Month, and VA is committed to letting every veteran know that help is available. Substance use disorder can harm your physical and mental health, but it can be treated. There are thousands of veterans in recovery.
VA's Today I Am campaign highlights real stories from veterans describing how treatment, support, and resources help them improve their mental health and their lives.
VA has programs to treat substance use disorder at facilities throughout the country. We also offer telehealth services. A better, fuller life is possible. Today, you can start on a path toward recovery.
To learn more, visit maketheconnection.net/MHM.
And good Friday morning to you. It is July 19th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:14 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Auburn. Currently 78 degrees right now. Looking for a high today. All right, everybody, hold on to your hats. It's going to be 103 degrees. We are back up in there. But hey, let's cool off with a conversation here. We've got Mary Jane Pop on the line. Mary Jane, good morning. Happy Friday. How are you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm ready. I think. Okay, Mary. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I don't. I want to. My instinct is to say no, but the more I think about it, so I was driving. I was out. It was early in the morning. I was doing an early in the morning drive. I had to pull off on the side of the road. This was a couple weeks ago, and I was out in the foresty area, and there was not a lot of lights around. And I looked up, Mary Jane, and I got to see. There's not that often that you can see that many stars and see that far with a ton of lights just gone, and being able to just see the vastness of space. And then actually, I am amazed how many satellites are up there that you can see that are just, there's stuff just moving across the sky all the time. So the more that I think about it, the more I'm thinking, man, there's got to be something out there. With all of the vastness of space, there has to be something out there. Yeah. 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 Okay.
And it's about, yeah, they were doing some testing, and I can't remember where he said, well,
Hmm. Really? Yeah. Is it really? Oh, I didn't know that. I wonder why that is. Well, I guess we'll have to stay tuned and find out why that is. Okay. Oh, well, and this goes back to, so John Glenn had a birthday earlier this week, so we were shouting out John Glenn. Do you remember the name? I was trying to remember. I guess I could just look it up. Friendship 7, I think, was the name of his capsule that he went into. But if I remember correct, when he was up there and the first American in space there, he described something that was floating around his spacecraft, and nobody could really identify what that was, if it was something that came up, but it was almost moving in synchronicity, and he was having a real hard time describing exactly what it was outside of his little porthole window. And I kind of wonder, you kind of wonder if something was, if we were checking it out, if something was checking us out while he was up right? Yes, I mean, I feel like it goes back all the way back then. I had a teacher in high school who had it was a relative. I actually think it was his brother who worked out in what is it, Area 51, or worked out. He worked in the Air Force. Yeah, and he said that you talk about, there were all these spacecraft, or these aircraft that were declassified later on in like the SR-71 and the stealth bomber and all these things that we found out a little bit later, but they were developed back in the 60s and 70s. And this was in the 90s, and he was saying, he's like, he can't tell me all the things, but he said, are there some things out there that maybe they're developing that we would think would be like UFOs? And he said the imagination is the limit of what we could. So sometimes I wonder if, like, is that stuff that the government's making that we just don't, isn't declassified yet, and maybe we'll never know? Or maybe is there technology, right? Like maybe they found something and we're, well, exactly. Yes. I know. It's super interesting. Super interesting. Okay. I, I absolutely 100% do. I do believe in angels. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I grew up pretty religious, in a religious household, and so there's the influence from that. But I believe that there's a whole unseen world. I don't know that I've ever encountered an angel specifically, but I've heard too many stories, and it's just kind of in the belief system that I grew up in. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure angels exist. Which, by the way, then there's the opposite. There's the whole angels and demons thing, by the way. So you could say, well, what is it? A good angel? Is it a bad angel? Are you a good witch? Or are you a bad witch? So it could kind of go on both. Hmm. You know what? The more yeah, the more I experience it, the more I actually have come to that conclusion along with you of like, I actually think like everybody like this is the suffering oftentimes that we're trying to reconcile with. Mm, mm, the back there. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No kidding. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Wow. Yep. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Mhm. 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 Wow. Mhm. Mm. Wow. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, wow. No kidding. Of course, Bob. Yes. Man. Wow. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That is fantastic. That is I am always so impressed. I know you've been in the industry for made a lot of contacts. I just love hearing just the wide variety of people that you that you know that you've talked to before that bring these really interesting conversations. Now, I would imagine he has probably a little bit to say on like you know. And I love the redirect, the reframing, where it's like don't think about it as failure, but thinking about it as learning and learning from. I'm sure he had his case of obstacles that came up in the way of becoming 60. Did you say 60 years in the business? Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Right. Well, and that's like some would say you've graduated. You've graduated from here to the next phase of whatever that is or whatever that looks like. Right. I love that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's great. Right? It's available, it's on demand, you can catch it anytime. Yeah, if that's too late or too early. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mhm. I'm ready. Mm. Mm. Boy, that's good. That's good. Exactly. Exactly. Uh-huh. Yeah, and that's one thing I'm learning, Mary Jane, is it's being a little bit easier on yourself and not giving yourself such a hard time. And I love the reframe there of like it's learning. We're learning. We're learning to do something different or better. But like let's always learn forward, right? Let's keep it going in a positive. I love that. Yes, go please. Okay, yes. Mm, Gosh. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Can you read that one more time? That was really good. Mary Jane, we got to leave folks with that one. It has been so good to talk to you. I'm so excited to talk to you every time. We got to run off and pay the bills here. But again, Pop Talk again, Mary Jane, remind us when we can hear it. Thanks, Mary Jane. We'll talk to you later. We'll be back right after this. Mary Jane, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I love it. Yeah, I'm like, I don't have a quote that even compares to that. Like yours were fantastic. Those were great. I loved it. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's so right. All right, Mary Jane, I gotta run. I gotta close the show out here. I got about 15 seconds, but I will talk to you. Do it again next week. Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:33 a.m. My goodness gracious, do I love talking to Mary Jane. Always exciting, always interesting, always learning something new. Hey, gang, we're going to finish off for today. As always, remember to be kind, be honest, be yourself, and remember, you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic weekend, and I will see you bright and early on Monday morning. Back now to America's First News.
Committee issued a subpoena this week. The Secret Service
Okay, they're off. They're off, not me. That's the thing.
It's scheduled to be the first congressional hearing into the attempted assassination. And even before the first hearing, calls for Cheadle to resign intensified, with top Republican leaders from both the House and Senate saying she needs to go. She was accosted by Republican Senators Marsha Blackburn, John Barrasso, and James Langford as she worked security at the
Okay.
this week.
Have a great day. Bye.
She explained to them she was trying to work